Hello everybody, Joe Bag of Donuts here. Welcome back for another episode of Umineko that I meant to record like 2 days ago. But hey, what can I do? My neighbor decided to have like all the trees in their yard that are directly next to my house cut down. Good for me, I guess. I don't gotta worry about like birds shitting on my car or like branches falling or like squirrels jumping from those trees onto my roof when I'm trying to sleep in the middle of the day. But that did negatively affect me because it meant, one, I couldn't sleep at all this weekend because they were outside, 20 feet from my bedroom window, running chainsaws and fucking vehicles, backhoes, and their big wood mulcher chipper thing. Shook my entire house when they were doing that. Not a very good, conducive environment to record in, so I withheld from actually recording until today when I got off work early, and it's almost 6 a.m. I'm a little tired, but what can you do? We can power through it. I believe a believing heart is magic, after all. Shame magic isn't real. I don't have any explanations for what happened last time, though. Someone can come up with a theory. Gonna have to rely on Battler here to come in with a save. Because wacky shenanigans are afoot. Dubious little creatures are making mischief. Anyway, moving on. Jessica had finally been cornered with the wall at her back. Renové's magic barrier was advancing bit by bit and would probably crush her against the wall before long. Considering this distance, this would be the final strike, the final throw of her iron fist. Jessica had dealt out many punches so far. The wall wasn't invincible. It already started to crack, and it wouldn't be strange for it to smash at any moment. However, due to the rebounding damage, Jessica herself was in a very bad shape, with cuts all over her body.
もうおよしなさい。あなたを押しつぶすつもりはありません。あなたの処遇は親方様が決めますからね。しかし、ジェシカ様のナイスファイトは私からも特に申し上げるつもりですよ。
ふざけるんじゃねえぜ。まだだ。まだ終わっちゃいねえぜ。
I don't know, Jessica, it's becoming a little too good for team family, I guess, is what we'll call them, the survivor team. Because they had a pretty good streak going last time too, until they didn't.
あなたは満身創痍。立っているのもやっとではありませんか。あなたは最後の一撃に全ての力を込めるつもりでいるようだ。しかし、その最後の一撃はむしろあなたにとって命取りになりますよ。
The damage reflected by Renové's magic barrier was proportional to the strength of the attack. Jessica's all-out punch would be bounced back onto her. The more all-out she went, the more suicidal it would be for her.
わかってるぜ。
You just gotta hit it so hard that it absolutely shatters, and, that way there can be no rebound because the shield itself doesn't exist anymore.
警告しま
Big
す。
brain thinking.
もうおやめなさい。それがあなたのためです。
強がるなよ。お前の壁がもう破れかかってるんだろ。
Irrelevant.
殴ってきた私には手応えで分かってるんだぜ。
That was a fact. Renové's wall was already on the verge of breaking, and on top of that, Jessica's fists had been imbued with an unimaginable magical attack power by now, and their destructive power defied the imagination. If she wasn't careful, that destructive power might pierce the defensive wall, smash Renové as well, and then go on to expand the size of her bedroom by connecting it to the room next door. However, that damage were bound on Jessica as well. She wouldn't escape unharmed.
もう
Exclamation
一度
mark.
だけ言います。おやめなさい。あなたのためを思って言っています。
やかましいぜ。覚悟しやがれ。
Jessica howled. That wasn't really a howl, unless she's doing her like battle yell when she does her punch. Putting all her strength and her last and greatest destructive power into her fist, she roared. The three goats had been beaten down long ago. Without a single ragged breath, George cautiously closed the distance between him and Gap. He was after her. He was planning on bringing her down with a single strike. Gap was also aiming for a single strike. She let that chance slide. This time, she would be killed.
落とし穴は使わないのかい?
Even the tiny moment of weakness during the time it took to open the hole would prove fatal against George now. Gap cautiously calculated the distance and timing, but even as she did, George closed the gap between them.
来ないなら行くよ。
来なさいよ。今さら小細工も何もないわ。私のこの蹴りで決着をつけてやる。
Or just gonna have a, an honest to goodness clash? The instant she noticed George's body blur, only his jacket was floating in the air. A short sound of realization entered her mind, and in that instant, darkness covered her. George, with his heels swung up high, looked even like a massive dragon attacking from the sky.
かかったわね。これで私の勝ちよ。後ろ宮ジョージ!
No, we just learned last time that's just gonna multiply his attack power.
何?
Gap opened a vast pit with her in the center. It swallowed up George along with herself. The two were swallowed up by the pit and spat out from the ceiling of the arbor. So back where we started, huh? But that is what Gap had been after, so she alone landed lightly. But there was another pit in George's landing spot. What, just gonna portal him? And then just build up terminal velocity, then just drop him, but then don't open up another pit below him, just splat.
もらったわ。後ろ宮ジョージ! 面白かったわよ。死になさい。あんたみたいな上等。後ろ宮家の当主なんてもったいないわ。今この場で私が食ってあげる。
George once again fell from the ceiling of the arbor. Probably didn't drop the same distance as falling off the roof of a two-story building. In midair, he couldn't control his posture in any way. It was impossible to resist or defend or avoid. As Gap spun like a whirlwind, she concentrated all her energy on the sharp tip of her silhouette heel. This was the final strike to perform his requiem. The Queen Bee's final strike that would bore into heaven, knocking him down into the true abyss.
ようこそ奈落へ。ここがあんたの終着点よ。
What a fucking, 2-bit villain line. Her prey captured in her sight, she launched her foot up into the sky. It was then that she saw George's face. All according to Keikaku. Even though he was in midair, he was calmly adjusting his glasses with the middle finger of his left hand. And his posture was still preserved of that of an axe kick. Aiming for Gap's forehead without the faintest
君
deviation.
がその手に出ることは想定済みだったよ。
What, just have all that downward momentum transferred into your kick?
僕が地上の君に飛びかかとを食らわせるために飛んでいたなら、僕の姿勢はとっくに崩れていただろうさ。しかし、僕の姿勢はいささかも崩れない。なぜかわかるかい?
No, not really.
僕は初めから数フロア下の君にかかとを食らわせるつもりで飛んでいる。君の負けだ、お嬢さん。
ピンポン。
Oh no, he reflected it backwards. Jessica's last and longest upward punch reached the wall and was sucked in. It was sucked into the black large hole that had suddenly opened on the wall.
だからおやめなさいと忠告したのに。
Oops.
実は全然ピンチでもなんでもなかったの。
Well,
ごめんなさいね。
poor Jessica. Jessica's fist had gone for George's stomach, and George's axe kick had lined up on Jessica's head. The shocking destructive power imbued in Jessica's fist crushed George's organ and scattered his abdomen. The equally as shocking destructive power of George's axe kick smashed half Jessica's head and scattered its contents in the same manner.
だって魔女は演技力なんでしょ。
Yeah, you certainly put on a show.
ねえねえリーチェ、どうよ、見ててくれたかしら。やるな、筋書き通り。やっぱガープは分かってるじゃん。イエーイ
Played like a damn fiddle. Beato and Gap gave each other a light high five. They got your hopes up and everything.
ありがとうロノウェイ、こっちで美味しくいただけた。ジェシカの死体はそっちに返すわ。二人で寄り添う死体を引き離す。これで第二の晩は出来上が
Oh
る。
yeah, I guess that works. Gap dropped Jessica's corpse into a pit and chucked all the chunks of meat too into Jessica's room, as carelessly as throwing them into the trash. Jessica's corpse and lumps of flesh flew from the ceiling and poured out all over her room. Renove shook his head slightly at this all too gruesome change.
申し訳ございませんね、ジェシカ様。ご忠告は申し上げたのですよ。もっともこの結末を予見し、聞き入れないと分かっている忠告を重ねる悪魔の醍醐味は人間には分からないでしょうがね。
本当に面白かったわ。
Yeah, poor George.
でもあんたちょっと言葉
Don't feel too good to have your guts out on the ground. Can't really speak from experience, but
そ
you
ろそ
know,
ろ反撃してもいい
it's a given, really.
あなたどこかのラノベか何かにかぶれすぎよ。
I mean, the 80s is a little too early for like light novels to be super in vogue. In the arbor brutally decorated by George and Jessica's scattered bone and guts, Gap enjoyed a loud laugh for a while. But she quickly realized that, in all seriousness, this was a little too filthy and undignified, and she snapped her fingers. Yep, the little cleanup crew. So where are you gonna dump them? As she did, gold butterflies rose up from the ground all around the garden, stuck to each of the bits and stained patches of blood, and got them out. Then, bit by bit, they slowly turned back into George's corpse. And the awful corpse with its guts splattered out was repaired into a clean corpse that looked like it was sleeping. Was that some kind of post-mortem sportsmanship towards a good opponent? The heavens were slowly split, as Gap had lifted a leg high into the air, pointing at the sky.
じゃあね、色男。これが本当のゲームオーバー。
Wait, lady killer? Oh, like he's a Casanova lady killer. Okay. Squish. For a moment I was thinking, a killer that's a lady? Oops. Without a trace of mercy, that foot was brought down and buried into George's forehead. The stiletto heel, sharp as a weapon, was impaled through George's forehead. She pulled it out with a blorp. It's like a mark of proof that Gap had indeed finished him by her own hand. Reneve returned Jessica's corpse to its original form as well. And unlike how it had been with George, he also restored Jessica's life. You need your inhaler? That's quite a lot of cardio you just did. Not quite.
いいえ、違います。ジェシカ様は確かにお亡くなりになりました。
Yeah, but it got better.
最後の瞬間の記憶をよくご存知のはずだ。
It was burnt into the back of Jessica's mind. For some reason, she remembered being thrown somewhere, and that her head had been smashed by George's heel. Yeah, we changed your socks and gave you some ibuprofen.
いいえ、死んでいます。私の魔法でほんの3分ほど、それを先送りにしているに過ぎません。3分が過ぎれば魔法が終わり、あなたは無残な頭部半壊の死体に戻ります。
Yeah, that's a bit to take in.
死は残酷です。多くの場合、心の整理さえ与えない。しかし私は、ここまで検討したあなたを称え、
And for no ulterior motives at all, I'm quite sure.
その3分間で、この世の未練をよく整理されるといいでしょう。
その3分で、お前を道連れにするという
I don't think that's
手もあ
how
る
it
ぜ。
works. But the power that had been burning inside Jessica's body was now completely lost. Jessica was aware of that herself. She was already dead.
それでは私はこれにて失礼いたします。楽しかったですよ、ジェシカ様。
Reneve turned his form into a cloud of gold butterflies and disappeared. All there remained was the sound of wind and rain and the figure of Jessica crouching down against the wall. Jessica realized, after 3 minutes, she probably really would revert to the corpse she had been. In those 3 minutes, was there anything she could do? She stood up and, with a shaky gait, took the phone that was on the desk. Oh god, I'm gonna sneeze.
もしもし、ジェシカか。ジェシカ、
Yeah,
どうした？
it ain't good.
無事か？
やられしまったぜ。
大丈夫か？
No.
怪我をしてるのか？今助けに行く。
いや、もう遅いぜ。私さ、もう死んでるんだと。バトラが来た時には、私は頭を半分ぶちまけた死
Super
体だよ。
gross.
クソジジイめ。待てろ。今そこに行くからな。
聞けよバトラ。いいか。
You have to be the one to do it.
幸田さんたちが
You need your big hero
どう
moment
して食
too.
堂で
But, you know,
6人が殺された
not
時
fall
のこ
flat
と
on your face at the end.
歯切れが悪いのがよくわかった。あいつらな、人間じゃねえんだぜ。
何を言ってんだ。
見ちまったんだ。仕
Hey,
方ねえ
what,
だ
you
ろ。
hit your head or something?
あいつらさ、ワープしたりバリア張ったりやりたい放題だぜ。どこの漫画だよ、アニメだよ。いや、マジでかなわねえぜ。
Just a smidge outclassed.
最初からさ、戦うとか無理なんだよ。バトラが自慢してた棒仕掛けの槍程度でとてもどうにかなる相手じゃねえぜ。
Hey, Maria, you want to make us a magic item? A line of blood dripped down from Jessica's forehead.
ジョージ兄さんもダメだった。ありゃ、即死だ。 次のテストはバブルだな。お前のテストも私たちと
Probably not.
なるのかな。
Because technically, like, isn't Battler, you know, quote unquote, removed from Succession?
用心しろよ。そして間違えるな。
Actually, forget Battler's, like, specific situation. Like, I don't think he's removed from the family register.
テストか？
違う。敵はどうせ人間だと間違
Check
え
out
るのよ。
Davis' little character card says.
敵は人間じゃない。恐ろしい魔法を自在に扱える。そこを絶対に間違えるんじゃねえぜ。
Gonna have to get creative.
用心しろよ。
A line of blood dripped down from Jessica's mouth as well. The left half of her head started hurting. Jessica realized that she was about to return to the corpse she had been.
13人死ねば黄金の魔女が蘇る。母さんた
Only
ちが
got 5 more.
殺されて6人。これで第1の番。そして私とジョージ兄さんが死んで第2の番。あと5人殺されれば儀式は完成で魔女が蘇るってわけだ。父さんたち無事だといいな。もし無事じゃなかったらお前をテストするのは
In a questionable situation?
復活したての
I mean, they just flattened Virgilia with a goat
かもしれねえぜ。
because of cross counter, but now Battler had no idea what Jessica was saying. But from her tone, he realized that she knew she was about to die. So even though he didn't understand the situation, he urged her to hang on in there.
私はもう死んでるんだって。じゃあな、もう時間みたいだ。テスト
Yep, better study up.
頑張れよ。お前が当主になれるといいな。
Yeah, people like a black horse in the race.
ジェシカジェシカおい返事をしろジェシカ
Battler's sorrowful voice could be heard from the dangling receiver. Crouching with her back against the adjacent wall, Jessica's head was half smashed. Oh, my jaw just popped. Oh. Yow.
ここは
これは井戸なのか？ここはどこなんだ？
Kyrie stuck her face out of the well, and Kraus showed himself too. When he noticed that they could see the back of the mansion beyond a grove of trees, Kraus realized more or less where they were. I think that there had been a hidden underground passage in a well all the way out here, and that it led to a hidden mansion.
老体にはやはりこれは辛いですな。普段は別の場所からちゃんと階段で上がれるのです。鍵さえ開けば。
南條先生に後でいろいろと
yeah.
ここの構造についてお教え願
Hey,
い
you
た
got some
いもの。
explaining to do.
シャノン、大丈夫かね？捕まりたまえ。
大丈夫です。カノン君、早く。
Kenna was the last, climbing up the ladder towards them in the shaft disguised as a well. It was probably quite deep. He looked down for the first time, and realized how far he'd come up.
にひ、射撃。
Well. Bang. As Kenna was about to finally crawl out of the well, a hole the size of a basketball opened up in his chest. Oof! That's a biggin! Everyone there looked at through the hole in Cannon's chest to the scenery beyond. Cannon toppled backwards and was swallowed up into the depths of the well.
みんな逃げて。 シエスタ姉妹捕捉されてます。回避できない。走って一人でも生き残って。
At that time, Kraus, Kyrie, and Nanjo clearly saw a golden curve appear from the well and sow itself through the side of Shannon's head. Well, we already got the chest and the head. Who's gonna get the gut, the leg, and the knee? Head pierced. The three were perfect witnesses to everything, up to and including the opposite side of her head being blasted away into a pulp. Shannon fell to her knees, blood gushing from both sides of her head, and flopped to the ground.
私たちは狙われてる。走って殺されるわよ。
走れ走れ走れ走れ。
Nanjo became paralyzed in fright by the manner of Shannon's death, and the Chester sisters would not miss their chance. Curve again appeared from the well and pierced through Nanjo's forehead and out the back of his head in an instant, sewing through him. Oh. And so, Nanjo expired.
何なんだ。どうしてなんだ。敵はどこから。
狙撃されてるのよ。どこか知らないけど、私たちを完全に捉えてる。屋敷へ逃げ込むのよ。視界を遮るのよ。
That doesn't really do much. Sure, the two dashed into the back entrance of the mansion. Then, Instant Kraus tried to shut the door behind him. The golden curve appeared for the fourth time, piercing Kraus from the back of his head out through his forehead, smashing even his forehead into pieces. Kraus's body lurched forward, fell down hard, and drew a neat radial pattern with the insides of his head. Gross! Kyrie ran wildly throughout the hall, flew into some room, and locked the door. But she couldn't imagine for a moment that this would save her life. She'd probably die soon. This was apparently one of the guest rooms. At that moment, a phone on a side table caught Kyrie's eyes. Hey Batley, you free to take another call? After hanging up the call from Jessica, Battler was literally just about to dash out. In that instant, the phone rang again.
もしもし。キリエさん。
はい、バトラ君。ラッキーだったわ。なんとか力を脱出できたの。本当についてた。
Yep, somehow.
そこはどこだ。
Don't go into the details.
みんな無事なのかよ。こっちはジェシカとジョージの兄貴がどうやら。
聞いて。私の命は多分もう長くは持たないわ。
Then, right after she got the sudden feeling that the keyhole of the locked door might have glowed gold. A gold curved line drawing a helix. No, golden sewing thread infiltrated the room through there at an incredible speed and bored a hole into the floor by Kyrie's feet. Oh, that's rare. The enemy, who had sniped the other four one after another with extraordinary skill, apparently really does have trouble shooting me between the eyes with a single shot when I'm holed up in this room. But the next strike will probably hit. At this point, Kyrie finally remembered the initial massacre in the dining hall. That's right. This is what killed Rudolph and the rest, all 6 of them.
聞いてバトラ君。私が見たことをありのまま話す。バトラ君はきっと私の頭がどうにかなってしまったんだろうと思うに違いない。ええ、思ってくれていいわ。私だって何を見たのか未だに整理がつかない。今日バトラ君たちがゲストハウスに帰ってから食堂で親族会議が始まって、そして何が起こったかを全て話すわ。口を挟まないで最後まで聞いて。途中で急に電話が切れるかもしれない。そしたらその時は私が殺された時よ。
Then Kyrie spoke about how Kinzo had come, the family conference had started, the 6 had been killed, and the 5 of them had been confined, and about how she had escaped somehow and made it to where she was now, and how everyone had finally been killed, all spoken dispassionately, as if she had seen it, with no dramatization. Lots of syllables in that word there. She even spoke about how everyone except her had been killed, and how she had observed the moments of all their deaths, and how, even in this very moment, someone was trying to kill her.
実はこの話をしている間にももう3度攻撃を受けている。鍵穴からおかしな黄金の糸みたいなのが飛び込んできて、くるくる回りながら私を狙ってくるの。最初は足元、次は肩の近く、さっきのは耳をかすったわ。狙いがだんだん正確になってくる。そろそろ私の眉間にズドンと来そうね。
逃げろキリエさん、逃げてくれ。
どこへよ。私ここまで逃げ延びてきて部屋に閉じこもって鍵までかけてるのよ。
That's the best you could do.
それでもなお狙われてる私がどこに隠れるのよ。ねえ。
様。
ねえ、バトラ君、ジェシカちゃんとジョージ君、まだ生きてる？
No.
さっきジェシカから電話が。
Yeah, they ain't doing so hot.
なんかダメみたいだった。
やっぱり私たち5人が次々殺されるとき、何か予感していたの。ひょっとして13人殺しの儀式は第2の番を終えて私たちの番にまで至ったのかなって。
Well, everyone's been shot in the head, so...
つまり私が死ねば13人。これで儀式は完成。黄金の魔女。
Though, we also learned last time that, you know, they don't have to be killed in that way, just, you know, it can even be done after the fact.
どういうことになるのかしら。こんな悪魔だらけの魔女だらけ。
Revived with
ヤギ
magic,
の化け物
and
が
then
うじゃうじゃい
finished
るこ
off.
の島に、さらにそいつらの親玉である黄金の魔女まで現れて、一体どうなっちゃうというのかしら。もう私には何が何だかわからない。
Kirie's voice had given up completely on her own life. And because Balor could tell that, he couldn't stop the tears.
だけ助言できることがあったわ。
何？
もしあなたの前に悪魔やら魔女が現れても、
ああ、
その正体を疑う必要は何もないわ。
'Cause that shit ain't real.
そういうものだと理解して。何か仕掛けがあるはずだとか、正体があるはずだとか、そんなことを考える余裕があったら、相手の機嫌を損ねないことを考えた方がよっぽどに建設的。間違ってもなら魔法を見せてみろなんて言っちゃダメよ。
Yeah, that
その証拠を
seems to be a bad
彼らは
move.
この上なく残酷な方法で見せるでしょうから。
信じらんねえよ。キネさんの口からそんなこと言われるなんて信じらんねえよ。
分かってる。信じられないのは。だからそれこそが私にできる助言。信じて。
ペアとイーチェと悪魔と魔女と化け物どもを信じろと。
私たちは多分あれほどまでにこの世ならざるものをありありと見せつけられても、多分何も信じることができなかったと思うの。
Nope.
今の私もそう。さっきから襲ってきて私の額を撃ち抜こうとする者の正体さえ私には理解できず、信じられない。だからあなただけは信じ理解して私たちに受け止めきれなかった存在
In order to
を
beat it.
受け止めてほしいの。そうしてくれたなら私たちの死は無駄にならない。私もこうして電話をした甲斐があったというものだわ。
キリエさん。
まだ大丈夫よ。かすったけどまた外したわ。
Damn, they really need to work on their aim.
さすがに今度はもうダメかもね。ありがとう。そしてさよならバトラ君。あなたのことをアスムさんの息子だからと冷たくしたこともあった。その日のことを許して。
許すも何も。今はキリエさんが俺にとっての母親だろうが。
Oh, that's nice. Felt as though I heard an incredible sound at the other end of the receiver, and then a noisy clattering sound, as though the receiver had fallen to the floor. Yeah, quite a, you know, strangely similar sound to a gunshot coming from that arrow of theirs. Ooh, good face there. Kyrie never responded through the phone again. Alright, so, Battler, you finished studying for your test? Also, damn, they're really fucking knocking it out quick. It's still the 4th.
どうしてバトラが怒ってるのかわ
Yeah, they'll revive in the Golden
みん
Land.
な殺されたんだぞ。あのクソジジイにベアトリーチェ復活の儀式とかわけのわかんないことを言った。
ならこれで13人が生贄に捧げられてもうベアトリーチェは蘇った頃だよ。
ああ、なら上等だ。ベアトリーチェもまとめて一緒にぶち殺してやろう。
Oh man, last time you've tried that, you know, all the other times, it hasn't gone so
マリア
hot.
たちは儀式を生き残った。だからベアトリーチェに黄金鏡に招待してもらえるんだよ。そこでは願いは何でも叶う。家族を殺されたのが辛いなら生き返らせてもらえばいいのに。マリアはそうするつもりだよ。黒い魔女に取りつかれていない本当に優しい本当のママを蘇らせてもらうの。だからママはもうずっとマリアと一緒。お仕事とかで残業も休日出勤も
No
何
more
もない
pesky
の。
mama's
ず
boyfriends.
っとマリアと一緒にいてくれてマリアのことだけを考えてくれてマリアのために恐ろしい敵といつも戦ってくれるの。
お前
Yeah.
どうかしてるぜ。なんでこの状況でそんなわけわかんねえことを言ってられるんだ。
Poor Maria.
バトラは今キリエおばさんに言われたはずだよ。魔女を信じろと言われたはずなのに。
I mean, yeah, Kyrie is usually pretty reliable, but, you know, no one's right 100% of the
こ
time.
んなとこでマリアと口喧嘩してる場合じゃねえぜ。もう人質も何も誰も生き残っちゃいねえんだ。もうク
I
ソ
mean,
くだらねえおかしな儀式もゲー
There's
ムも
Goten
お
and
しまいだぜ。
Kumasawa. No, don't forget about them.
ここからは俺の好きにさせてもらう。まだ生きてる奴がいるかもしれない。あるいは隠れてる奴がいるかもしれない。片っ端から調べて見つけ出しぶちのめしてやるぜ。
In a rage, Battler grabbed his hat stand spear and flew out of the room. Maria watched him go, looking bored.
ベアトリーチェがすぐに願いを叶えてくれるのにバトラはバカ。
Yeah, but that's why he's so entertaining. Then, the phone rang out again. Maria stood up and grabbed the receiver.
もしもし。ほう。
Of course, the sound of the phone also reached Battler's ears as he was about to dash out of the guest house. With a violent forcefulness, he turned around and dashed into the cousin's room.
マリア、電話って誰からだ？
It's Beatrice. With a terrifying look on his face, Battler yelled at Maria, who was on the phone. Couldn't blame him. Right now, the only humans left on the island were himself, Maria, Goten, and Kumasawa. But there was no way that those two could call when they were locked up in the garden storehouse, which meant there was only one person. It had to be Kinzo. As she happily chatted with the person on the other end of the phone, Maria slowly turned to face Battler. And, with an unsettling expression on her face, she laughed with a kee-hee-hee-hee-hee-hee. Felt almost as though the person on the other end of the line was chatting about Battler.
マリア、電話の相手は誰だ？じい様か？
Battler couldn't imagine that this was the case. After all, it was inconceivable that Maria would be having such a friendly talk with Kinzo, chatting to him about Battler with an eerie smile on her face. Just what kind of person could be on the phone who could make Maria chat with a smile like that? At that time, in the back of his mind, the words Kyrie had spoken to him drifted up. Even if a witch does appear, there's no need to doubt it. Just believe in its existence. Ooh.
バトラ、今帰ってきたよ。せっかちだよね。
マリア、その電話の相手は誰だ？誰なんだ？
変わる？うん。はい、バトラー。
Hi, Moshi Mosh, Battler des. After getting the consent of the person on the other end, she held the receiver out to Battler.
はい。
Maria held the receiver out for him to take, as though it was perfectly normal. Battler felt a little bit of hesitation towards taking the receiver, because, by acknowledging the existence of the person on the other end, he would have no choice but to admit it. Kyria had said it, that there was no longer any need to doubt their existence. Battler took the receiver. After he did so, Maria briskly headed for the door. Battler, who was slightly fearful about finding out for sure who was on the other end of the receiver, questioned Maria before taking the call.
おい、どこへ行くんだよ？
マリアのテストの場所だよ。後ろ宮家の当主はバトラかマリアかどっちだろうね。
行くな！殺されるぞ！
殺されないよ。儀式はもう終わってるもの。それに殺されても蘇らせてもらえるし、当主になって
Yeah,
も
it'll
な
come
れ
out
な
of
く
the
ても、
wash. It's fine.
もう私たちは黄金鏡に招いてもらえる。じゃあね、お先に。
待てよ！マリア！
Battler stretched his hand out to Maria's back as she left, but the cord of the receiver that he was gripping held him back like a chain. He readied himself. Battler put the receiver to his ear.
もしもし。
Yeah, there we go. Thanks, Beato.
I'm fine.
Have we ever got the version with the lyrics before? I don't think we have. Your English could use a little work there, Beatrice. That's not really the proper context to use, and I'm fine. Screwed up, mocking English filled his ears. It was the voice of a woman he didn't know, who, the inside of his head was starting to freeze up. Who?
Yes, I'm fine.
Yeah, we just gotta play along. Huh? Is this some kind of like common English class drill that, you know, I'm unaware of because, you know, I never learned English in a Japanese class. I mean, or yeah. Also, the lyrics in the background are throwing me off.
てめえは誰だ？答えやがれ！
英語で言えよ。お前、そういうの得意だったろ？
Oh, is that where fucking Anjay picked up her pension for saying cool lines in English?
てめえは誰だ？クソジジイの手先か？
手先とは、
Yeah, not entirely wrong.
わらわの虜だろ
The last laugh didn't sound like it was aimed at Battler. It's almost as though Kinzo was right next to the phone, cackling as well.
名を名乗りやがれ！てめえは誰だ？何者だ？
Hey, this costume, we don't want us to have seen it.
ご招待するぜやっとだやっと長かったぜ本当に今日まで長い日々だったマジで1000年は待ったぜ
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
今日という日をよおかげさまをもちましてわらは大復活
You got chips?
Thank you, 金蔵
Those like good Tostito scoops?
特別に
Man, I can eat an entire bag of those without like any salsa or nothing.
やってもいいぜ。
Gosh, we're talking about food. I haven't had
や
breakfast
れ
yet.
やれ上機嫌にも程があろうが
Hell's bells to yara yara. Okay. Nice. Just gotta imagine fucking Jotaro in fucking Stardust Crusaders every time he says yara yara. It's just like hell's bells.
もう少しは淑女らしく振る舞わんか
Ah, it's part of the charm. Kinzo and Beatrice sat facing each other over the chessboard on the reception table. Also on the table were expensive cheeses and the like to go with drinks. And there was a line of several empty wine bottles. As Beatrice rolled around in her sofa in an unseemly way, she held a wine glass in one hand in a good mood, and probably completely drunk. That explains a lot with this phone call.
ご機嫌だから大サービスだ。
All the videos that I've recorded where I'm like actually super shit-faced are pretty much gone. Like it was during the Muv Love Unlimited recording that I got pretty bad. Like I drank an entire bottle of sake during one recording. I was not the best. I mean, it might have been entertaining, content, but the commentary was a little, yeah.
1947年ものかよ。今日開けなくていつ開けるつもりだ。それをアビセッコして遊ぼうぜ。
It gets sticky.
空き瓶で殴りっこもしよう。
It's not like the movies. It won't just break and they'll be like, "Don't." You'll fucking get a concussion.
それは愉快だ浮かれすぎであるぞ羽目の外しすぎだ
金蔵だって。わらわに再会できて嬉しいだろ。はあ、シャバだ。うつしおだ。わらわの肉体。
At least you're enjoying yourself, Beatrice.
お前さっきから何を騒いでるんだお前がベアトリーチェだとでも言うのかよ
Yeah, she was waiting for it.
金蔵の13人殺しの儀式のおかげでようやくわらわは復活したぞ。口があると舌があるといい。こうしてそなたと話せることのなんと楽しいことか。
Well, as long as you're having fun, I guess that's all that matters.
お前とはあれだけ何度も憎まれ口を叩き合ってきたの。こうしてゲーム中に盤上で会話をしたの初めてだな。
Yeah, but you're kind of just talking past him right now.
何やらとても新鮮だ。お、今のポンって音聞こえたか？
No.
あいつ開けたぞ。マジでバカたっけえ秘蔵ワインを開けやがった。いくらだって知ってるか？10キロのインゴット丸々と同じくらいするんだぜ。
Yeah, damn, Beatrice, that's wild. Maybe you should have some water?
ふざけるな何がベアトリーチェだ
Something to eat?
黄金の魔女だと
Like, let's take you to Five Guys, get some food in ya.
いい加減にしろ
Maybe walk around for a bit, and then get you to bed.
そこにクソジジイも一緒にいるのかてめえらまとめてぶっ飛ばしてやら今どこにいやがるんだ答えやがれ
なんだ、わらわに会いたいのか？モテる女はつれえ。でも金蔵がいるときに口説くのはよせよ。こいつマジでやったら立ち悪い。
Oh, I believe it. Oh god, fucking Kinzo sulking.
二人きりの時なの。こっそり内緒で愛してやるからよ。
Your love is a little extreme there, Beatrice.
いかれてやがせ
金蔵、気が変わった。マリアのテストにわらわは行く。
Moving battlers up.
そなたが行け。
なんと気まぐれな ではお前がバトラをテストするというのか。
いいだろう。あいつさ、お前の若い時に似てるからさ、キュンときちゃうんだよ。安心しろよ。浮気なんかしないって。あいつと二人きりになるのは今だけ。わらわはいつだってお前と二人きりだろう。
Yeah, learn to share.
だが、もうわらわを四六時中束縛するのは勘弁しろよ。そういうわけだ、バートだ。どなたのテストをわら
Oh, how magnanimous.
黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェが自ら執り行ってやろう。バート。そうだ、この屋敷の正面玄関にいて。バートだ。いつもマジで頑張ってくれよ。
You got a full axe. It makes sense, but never heard that turn of phrase. As far as Kinzo's concerned, he's already won. He doesn't care what happens next. Ooh, Beatrice, secret sub. Though, definitely more on the Switch spectrum, you know. I remember the end of, episode 2.
このクソったらない酔っ払いめ。俺がてめえの酔いを覚ましてやるぜ。迎え酒には俺の熱いパンチをくれてやる。首を洗って待ってやがる。
Battler impulsively slammed the receiver down. There's no need to talk to the receiver anymore. I'll meet her face to face and settle this. I took the spear I'd made by taking apart the hat stand and went outside without even an umbrella. Hard to imagine that the young woman calling herself Beatrice would be waiting for me alone. She'd probably assume that she'd be waiting with those supporting troops that Goda and Kumasama-san told us about. Going alone would be too reckless.
久保田さん、熊沢さん、俺だ、バトルだ。
I need to squat up. I headed for the gardening storehouse first. I need all the help I can get. Goda-san's a burly man, so I can probably count on him to add some extra brawn. Kumasawa's knowledge and familiarity with the area as a senior servant might prove to be a huge weapon. Both of them have master keys, and they know more about the mansion than I do. They're pretty reliable allies. As I banged on the shutter and called out for them to open it, I remembered that there was nothing they could do from the inside. I'd have to get the key back from them and open the shutter myself. I went around the side, knocked on the small latticed window there, and opened it up.
久保田さん、熊沢のばあちゃん、バトラだ。おい、起きろって。お。
They're already dead. But how? They were locked in. A locked room? The scene in the shed, lit by a dim light bulb, was all too bizarre. From a low ceiling beam hung two thick ropes, and at the ends, Goda-san and Kumasawa-san were hanging by their necks. Well, that's unfortunate. It was dim, and I was looking through a narrow gap between all the various pieces of equipment strewn about, so I couldn't make out any more detail than that. But when they showed not even a tremor after I called out to them, and because of the way the loops around their necks seemed to carry the full weight of their bodies, I could sense no trace of life from them. I mean, not unreasonable considering what they saw, like, fuck, man. If it's gotta be, one of two ways, might as well, go out on our own terms. The shutter's still closed. And there's only a single key, which I'm sure Goda took possession of. So how did the culprit open the shutter and kill the two of them inside? No, wait. they weren't necessarily killed. This is a suicide. That way, this locked room makes sense, but I don't know why the two of them would hang themselves. Feebly, I slumped down on the spot. And I sneezed. Now, the only humans alive on this island are me, Maria, and my old bastard. Oh, there's also that nutso woman calling herself Beatrice. Maria's been acting like she's on the witch's side from the beginning. And Gramps is the very person who revived the witch. Plus, there's the witch herself. What the hell? Then it's just as though I'm the only one on this island. Using my pole as a cane, I feebly rose to my feet. Damn, I can't do it like this. I've got to avenge everyone. So, we haven't found George's body yet. Unless he's still just lying in the garden. I guess the explanation for him is that he just jumped off. Got the crying out of the way while I could, so that all my weak emotions would be squeezed out with my tears. Then, I straightened up and gazed into the darkness in the direction of the mansion. At the entrance to the mansion, the witch was waiting. I'll go and settle this. Find the source of this weird, blood-soaked night, and crush it with my own hands. Nice sentiment. Don't think that's enough to carry you through to the end, though. Amidst the pouring rain, I walked through the rose garden without an umbrella, letting myself get soaked. I could see the arbor in the distance. According to Jessica, it seemed that George Anarchy had also been killed. Well, by this point, there's no need to worry about the lives of any hostages. I left the path, aiming for the arbor. Still kicking in there, bud? Then, I saw George Anaki's weather-beaten corpse. Hey, now for the first time, we're getting, confirmation on the deaths. Corpse discovered by the Rose Garden Arbor. There was a single hole right in the center of his forehead. It seemed reasonable to think that he was shot with a gun or something. It was a brand of humiliation, marking his loss to Gap.
兄貴畜生
The corpse was in front of the arbor. If he could have died under the arbor, he would at least have been spared being beaten down on by the rain. There was a gaping hole in Anaki's forehead, as though he had been shot with a gun. Perhaps because the rain had washed everything away, his face wasn't covered with blood, and so he looked almost like he was sleeping, with his eyes open. However, the deep red his clothes were stained still provided the evidence that a large amount of blood had flowed out. How happy I'd be if he were sleeping, almost pretending to be dead. But Anaki's eyes remained open, even though the rain sprayed against them. And the hole in his forehead was, without a hint of a joke, the real thing. There had been a faint chance that Goto-san and Kumasawa-san hanging by their necks in the gardening shed could have been a bad joke. But that naive possibility had now been completely denied. And as I looked at this corpse, I became completely sure. Just as Goto-san had once said, the enemy came to take lives as though those lives were pieces on a chessboard.
間違いないクソジジイと魔女は俺たちの命なんて本当にその程度にしか思ってないらしい
That damn witch, when she was on the phone, she talked about us like we were on the game board.
仕事を出せそうかよこいつはゲームのつもりかよ
Battler's about to have a gamer moment. Better fucking watch out, Beatrice.
みんなをゲームみたいに殺したように俺がお前らをゲームのように殺してもいいわけだよな
She's starting to look like drywall through these tear-stained eyes.
首を洗ってやがれベアトリーチェ
The lightning caused the mansion's vast shadow to emerge. Finally, the mansion. As the massive shape came into view, there was no silhouette of any person. It seemed that there weren't any underlings waiting for me in a pack or anything like that. According to Kyrie-san, there were a large number of attendants with goat heads. At least for now, I couldn't sense a large group like that hiding and staring at me. What's this? Beneath the roof of the entrance, there's something set down.
なんだよこの箱
Does it have a dead cat in it? It looked like the kind of small box that girls often kept trinkets in. Maybe it was the same kind of extravagant cigar case you'd find in the reception room. Either way, it didn't look like something that belonged here. Clearly looked as though I was being told to open it. The thought of doing what they wanted me to do was somehow irritating. However, it didn't look like we'd get anywhere if I didn't open it. What is it, fucking Nazi's little mirror? Could it be that this was set up with some trap to make it explode when opened? While thinking things like that, and forgetting even to go under the overhang, I continued to glare at the box as the rain beat down upon me. Then, mixed in with the thunder, was some kind of music? It sounded like something like that. It was the tone of the big clock in the hall announcing midnight. It was also the sound that announced that the crazy day of October 4th had finally ended. And that the much more incredibly crazy day of October 5th had begun. That sound quieted, and I could hear an eerie laugh coming from nowhere. What's witching hour? It's not midnight. It's supposed to be like 2 in the morning or something. Maybe? When is witching hour? The devil's hour, a time of night associated with supernatural events, including the hour. Definitions vary and include the hour immediately after midnight and the time between 3 and 4 a.m. Okay, so I was partly right. It's on the spectrum, but now we're in the area where spooky shit happens. Got the feeling that the voice was coming from the heavens, and I looked up at the sky. And there was a woman I had never seen before. No, it's not true that I've never seen her before. I saw her once today. Yes, in the portrait inside the mansion. The clothes were different. The face was just like the witch of the portrait. Who am I kidding? I already know who this person is. Thanks for covering up the little battler. His portions were a little big-headed there. Not the best angle for, a dramatic thing. Should really be on the roof when you're drunk? I mean, I've played Katawa Shoujo. I know how this goes. You're gonna have a bad end up there. Leaning over the second-floor balcony and waving cheerfully from under her umbrella was, without a doubt, the witch of the portrait, Beatrice. Was the plan for the boss to watch on from above as her goat underlings tortured me to death? I adjusted my grip on the spear. And, imagining goats creeping out of the surrounding shadows in the entrance and surrounding me, I raised my guard in all directions.
安心しろよ。ここにはわらわとお前以外の誰もいねえぜ。ヤギの家具どももいなければ、悪魔の執事もお師匠様も、我が親友の悪魔もいない。そして、我が肉体の蘇生を手伝う黄金の長たちもいなければ、魔法陣もない。召喚者の立ち会いもない。その意味が、その
The human Beatrice?
さっぱりだぜ。
Oh.
寝言言ってる。
そなたとは確かにこの世界でも何度か会えてはきたの。
Really?
まるですれ違うかのようにね。知っての通り、この人間どもの世界は、
Oh, you mean when you're in your spirit form and like fucking, trouncing about the mansion, pushing people down the stairs and whatnot.
そなたというキングに対して守りを固める堅牢な城壁のようよ。それをわらわは何度もゲームを重ね、駒を一つずつ進め、切り崩し追い込み、
じわじわとそなたの城壁を切り崩していった。そしてようやくわずかの隙間を開き、そこからわらわはビショップを送り込み、そなたのすぐ近くに近づけるようになった。しかし知っての通り、ビショップは死角のある駒だ。黒のビショップはそなたが黒きマスにとどまる限り絶大な影響力を発揮する。
Yeah, it's I was about to say the white bishop next to the white king would be able to, get, the black king into check, but the knight is currently blocking that.
そなたがひょいと白きマスに一歩逃れれば、わらわはそなたの隣に接することはできても接触することはかなわぬのだ。だからわらわは
Even then, that's
そ
a
なたが
relatively
白き
safe
マス
move.
にとどまれぬようさまざまな駒を送り込み、そなたの隣の黒きマスを支配するわらわの前に弾き出されるようにゲームを進めてきたのだ。しかし今やそなたの城壁はぽっかりと穴を開け、わらわはビショップではなくとうとうクイーンを送り込むことができた。クイーンがどういう駒か
Yeah, it can move in every direction.
飛車プラス角だろ。言いてえことはこうかい。今やお前は黒い魔女幻想のマスだけでなく白い人間世界のマスにまで
Yes.
自由に侵食できるようになった。
The kitty gloves are off.
その通り。そなたはわらわの眷属である黄金の蝶たちが存在するマスのことを魔女幻想と呼ぶ。観測者なき非現実と仮定して否定してきたのだろう。
Yes.
知っておるぞ。だからこそわらわはこうしてとうとう白きマスへ降臨した。安心しろよ。黄金の蝶もヤギたちも悪魔も魔女も後でいっぱい呼んでやるぜ。そなたが望むなら
Yeah,
わ
everything
ら
in
わ
due
の
time.
黄金鏡へ招待してやる。そこで何でも願いを叶えてやろうぞ。
どうやらこの島のチェス盤はインク壺でもぶっかけちまったみたいだな。
なるほど。それも愉快な表現よ。
He's just moving about willy-nilly.
すぐにそなたもそのインクに染まるぞ。やがては真っ黒に染まる。必ず黒き金。
Balor's a true black king. Praise.
そなたは
Yas king.
インクの海に溺れる哀れな存在であるな。
Just like how Arkewid is, the true ancestor. Balor's a real black king.
いや違う。島がてめえのインク壺で全て真っ黒に染まっちまったことは認めるが。
Oh no, he's also fucking. Oh god, who does Black Pete? That's the Dutch.
白いマスはまだ残ってるぜ。
ほう。どこに
Are they Belgians, or do they both do it?
俺の足の裏にだぜ。お前の魔法のインクが島中を覆い尽くそうと。俺がいけん。この島が真っ黒に染まろうと。俺は俺だ。
Okay, yeah, cool lines, bud, but
白いマスをこうして踏みしめて立っている。
you're not very good at the whole don't provoke him kind of thing, huh? Strange. Until a second ago, I was trembling all over. But now that she's appeared openly right before my eyes like this, my tremor has actually lessened. It's funny. Ghosts are most terrifying when you can only sense them. When you can see them, and they have a face you can plant your fists into, there's nothing scary about it. I thought there was going to be more, like, at all, but no, it just goes to ellipses and exclamation marks, so my cadence was really off. Moving on. However, she's definitely not a funny or friendly person. She can kill me instantly while rolling around giggling just by a snap of a finger. Whether we interpret the result of her snapping her fingers as magic flying at me or underlings showing up to shoot me doesn't matter. In any case, whether this is fantasy or mystery, the queen is in a position where she can kill me just by snapping her fingers. I see. So this is the meaning of the queen of this island. Who reigns over both the white and black squares?
さあ、この雨の中、そなたが風邪をひくまで待つのも面白い。そろそろ本題に入ろう。そこに箱があるのがわかる。そなたへのテストはその中に入る。
Cool.
待ちな。俺はもう今さら次期当主が誰かなんてくだらねえゲームには。俺のゲームは
You
ク
can't
ソ
go off
じじいと
script
お
now.
前とみんなを殺したやつら全員にそれぞれ顔面パンチをぶち込むことだ。
ほう、わらわのこのバルコニーまで空を飛び上がってくるというのか。それはよい、それはよい。ならばほら、早く来いよ。ほらほら、パンパン。
絶対安全な場所にいやがるから余裕ぶっこきやがって。今からそこに行くぞ。首を洗って待ってやがれ。
ダメダメ。鍵がかかっているぞ。もちろん窓はすべて鎧戸を下ろして、そなたが短期で切り込めるほどわらわの城は脆くはない。
I tried the front door anyway, just in case, but yep, it really was locked. When I looked around, I noticed that indeed the shutters were closed on the windows. Normally, they wouldn't be. I mean, in a big storm like this, they probably would close the shutters.
用意周到なやつだぜ。
That's what they're there for.
鍵はどこだ?
Goto-san and Kumasawa-san probably have master keys, but they're in the locked room of the gardening storehouse. I can only give up for now.
やつもバカじゃねえってか。
そんなにわらわのすぐ隣に来たいのか。いいぞ。そなたがテストに見事合格できたら越見を許そうではないか。合格ということはそなたこそが次期当主、そしてわらわの次なる主。わらわの肉体も魂もどう扱おうとそなたの自由よ。わらわは所詮は後ろ宮家の家具なのだから。
どうやらテストってやつをどうしてもやらせたいらしいな。いいぜ、受けて立ってやら。合格したら最初のご褒美はてめえに顔面パンチだぜ。
それは怖い怖い。だが暴力に支配されるのも嫌いではない。
No?
わらわの頭をこうわしづかみにして、普通に表情を歪めさせ、鷹がその爪で獲物を引き裂きかきむしるようにわらわを蹂躙してくれよ。
Like, not... Normally you gotta, like, take a girl out to dinner first before, they open up like that.
ああ、若き日の金蔵をもう一度思い出させておくれ。わらわにこの1000年の生涯でただ一度支配され屈服し、家具に落ちる喜びを教えてくれたあの日のことを思い出させてくれよ。
酔っ払いね。拉致が開かねえ。
Yeah, really don't want to hear about Granddad's sexual exploits. Like, no thank you.
So...
Oh, there were lines there I was supposed to read. I was too busy thinking about fucking Kinzo's sloppy seconds. Ignoring this stupidly smiling witch, I picked up the box.
それを開け。中に手紙がある。それを読むのだ。
I opened it. There was a faint smell of cigarettes. Apparently, it really had been a cigar case. But there were no cigarettes or cigars inside. Instead, there was a Western envelope with the one-winged eagle crest. And when I opened that too, there was a letter inside. I looked up at the witch. She was grinning down at me. It seemed like she was waiting in anticipation to see what kind of reaction I'd have to the contents. Ah, damn it. I'll show her. Its contents were like this. Among the 3 mentioned below, in order to gain 2, sacrifice 1. 1, your life. Anyone's life. Everyone else's lives. If you do not choose 1, all of above will be lost.
なんだこりゃ。随分と物騒なことが書かれてるぞ。それより2番目が空欄になってて、誰の命かわかりゃしねえ。
It's fill in the blank?
その2番にはそのものの最も愛するものの名が入る。ジェシカのテストにはカノンの名、ジョージのテストにはシャノンの名が入った。
I don't know, who would it be? Do they have to be here on the island? In which case... Because if we're including people that aren't here, probably Anjay, but if we're including people that are here, doing a little presumptuous of me maybe, but... Rudolph?
彼らについては思い人がはっきりしていたからあらかじめ名前を記入してや
Yeah,
り
don't
ま
really
した。
know too much about you, bud.
そなたの思い人をわらわは知らん。だから誰の名を書けばいいやらわからず空欄とさせてもらった。
It's kind of lazy of you.
そいつはちょうどいいや。愛してるぜベアトリーチェ。
Yep, I was just about to say that.
お前の名前をここに突っ込んでいる。だから俺が選ぶ選択肢は2番だ。これでいいか？
おいおい、
Yeah,
茶
you
化す
fucking
な
jump
茶
down
化
here
す
head
な。
first.
なあ、頼むよバトラー。お前の思い人の名をわらわに教えてくれよ。
I know he jokes around at being kind of like a playboy, but...
じゃないとテストにならぬではないか。
悪いな。俺に特定の女はいねえぜ。
Yeah, my man's a bee going from flower to
仮
flower.
にいたって
Busy worker.
誰がお前なんぞに話すもんか。
そういうことではこのテストはそなたに成
Yeah, you got a
立せ
backup?
ん。
Like when a kid's sick on test day and the teacher has to make up a new test?
そなたの思い人がどのような女か好みくらいは気になったのだがな。
One with some real fucking badongadongs.
俺が黒髪長髪のまな板少女がいいって言ったらどうするよ。お前とは一つも一致しねえぜ。
I had you misread there, bud.
嘘をつけこのおっぱいソムリエが。金髪のダイナマイトバディがいいんだろ。わらわが
tooting your own horn there, eh,
理
Beatrice?
想の体現ではないか。
But you ain't wrong.
お前の3サイズを当てるのが次期投手のテストだってんなら喜んで挑戦してやる
Yeah,
ぜ。
I was wondering to come down here so we can get a better look.
そうそう次期投手のテストであったな。そなたと喋るのが楽しくてついついさっきから脱線してしまうわ。それでは次期投手のテストを始める。そなたに後ろ宮家次期投手としての資格があるかどうかを問う。心して答えるがよい。
The witch, who had been joking around like she was drunk until a second ago, suddenly regained her gravitas. She looked as though she truly had stepped out of that imposing portrait.
我こそは後ろ宮家顧問錬金術師、黄金の魔女にして無限の魔女ベアトリーチェ。後ろ宮家の家督と我が黄金のすべてを継承する資格があるかどうか、それをわらわが問う。
Okay.
そなたの名を名乗るがよい。
後ろ宮バトラだ。
My mind immediately jumps to fucking Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Under that majestic gaze, unimaginable from her manner a short while ago, I answered without any hesitation. She truly was. Yes, indeed. In the truest sense, she was that worthy of calling herself the queen of this island. What
よろ
is
しい
your quest?
後ろ宮バトラよ。しかしそなたはその後ろ宮の名をこの6年捨てたであろう。
I mean, he may not like all the aspects of it, but you know, it is his.
それはなぜか。
クソ親父に 愛想が尽きたからさ。
知っている。父親の再婚がそなたの敬愛する母親の死を冒涜したように感じたからであ
Yeah,
る。
it's complicated.
なるほど。新しき母はそなたと何の血のつながりもない。そなたがその母を受け入れられぬ気持ちはわからぬでもない。しかし父親が誰と再婚しようともそなたとの血のつながりは変わらぬのではないか。
何が言いてえ。
父親の再婚に反対するという父親を独占したいがゆえのそなたの幼稚も多少の理解はしよう。しかし
I mean,
それに反
I
抗する
think
ために
Balor's issue is
後ろ
with
宮の
like
名
how
を捨て
fast
る
it happened,
家
considering
と血
like
に対する冒涜ではないのか。
really Kyrie was, his main squeeze the whole time.
そなたは後ろ宮に
But,
生
you
まれ
know,
育まれてきたのではない。
he never knew that, so it was kind of like a real fucking shell shock, cold water dumped on his head kind of moment.
その恩を忘れ後ろ宮の名を捨てる資格がそなたにあったというの。
お前には関係ねえ。俺と親父の問題だ。
後ろ宮の名はお前と父親だけのものではない。お前は知らぬ女に父親を奪われることを許せず反抗しただけの幼稚だ。後ろ宮家の席を捨て去ったこの6年間はそなたが後ろ宮家に泥を塗りし短からぬ年月その罪深きを知るがいい。
Yeah, from the sounds of it, Battler was now out gallivanting a bit.
しかし祖父母の死を境とはいえよくぞ後ろ宮に席を戻した。よってその罪を自ら見そぐ機会をそなたに与えよう。今こそそなたの6年前の罪をあがなう時。さあさあ思い出してごらんなさい。それを思い出し
We getting a Battler flashback?
それこそわらわがそなたに与えるテストである。
That flashback was good. Like, I was staring at Beatrice, and, like, it fucking flashed. I don't know if it, like, actually inverted colors for, like, a second, but I was left with kind of, like, the solid white after image. Very nice. Normally, I don't appreciate getting flashbanged, but, it had a little stylistic substance on that one. At that moment, a massive thunderclap rang out, making my mind go blank.
懺悔せよってなんだよ。謝れって言いたいのかよ。
もうテストは始まっているぞ。そなたの好きに考えるがよい。
There were no signs from the witch's expression that she was sneering at a person unable to answer the tough question thrust upon them. She was earnestly asking something of him, and he could even feel a quiet determination. Even as the rain beat upon him, Valor could not shift his eyes from her gaze. The witch threw her umbrella away. She abandoned herself to the falling rain, so that the rain would fall on her until Battler answered that question. She had chosen to join him, allowing the rain to beat down on her as well until he reached an answer. For some reason, Battler could tell that, but even so, he didn't understand.
いや、まあそれを言われりゃ幼稚だったとは思うぜ。何のかんの言ったって親父に育ててもらった恩は親父が再婚したからってチャラになるもんじゃねえ。親父は養育費は常に送り続けてくれたそうだし、学校の行事にも参加したいと言っててくれたそうだ。それを俺が絶対に来させるなとじいちゃんたちに言ってたから。確かにそりゃ俺の幼稚な反抗だったとバッサリ言われりゃそれまでだぜ。
What can you do?
いやでもよ、ならよ。
Kids are dumb and they hurt people on accident.
おふくろの後ろ宮アスムの無念は誰が話すんだ。おふくろはあんなにも献身的に俺たち家族に尽くし頑張ってくれたんだぜ。なのに親父は比例さんと浮気もしていた。園児を身ごもらせてさえいた。 それで出産に合わせて駆け込むかのように籍を入れたんだ。それがおふくろへの裏切りでなくて何なんだよ。おふくろの無念は誰が晴らすんだよ。だが浮気は事実でも俺を育ててくれた恩は確かにあった。ならそれを相殺して俺が家を出ていくというので十分問題ねえじゃねえかよ。そうさ、俺にはおふくろの代わりに親父をぶん殴る権利が、いや義務があったはずなんだぜ。それを俺は許した。何も言わずに出て行って初めから俺なんていなかったことにしてやった。親父も俺のことなんか忘れてキリエさんやエンジェと新しい家族を始めた。
You're contradicting yourself there.
それで丸く収まってるじゃねえか。
Because you're saying he tried to be involved, but you know, you just fucking stonewalled him. But 6 years passed after that. Time healed the anger. Kiri-san understood my anger as well, and she tried hard to interact with me despite that and soften my heart. Anjay didn't know anything about the situation, and she adored me, believing that it was her real big brother who just lived in a separate house. As for Dad, he was acting like nothing had happened and told me I could come home at any time I wanted.
だんだんバカらしくなってきたんだよ。そろそろ俺も頭を冷やしてもいいかなって思ったんだ。だから俺は親父が謝ったら全部水に流すと言ってやったんだ、じいちゃんの葬式の日に。そしたらあいつ本当に畳に両手をついて詫びやがったよ。信じらんねえくらいに情けない格好だった。
Yeah, you know, Rudolph, he ain't great, but you know, he's not a monster. He's not bad.
あの格好つけた親父が
he might be a little bad.
本気で頭を下げやがったんだぜ。それを見たらなんだかもうバカらしくなっちまった。
Just because bad people can do bad things doesn't mean that they're, you know, a bad person in every aspect of their life.
きっとおふくろもそう思っただろうぜ。おふくろは俺と親父が喧嘩をするといつも笑いながら仲裁してくれて、なんだそんなくだらないことで喧嘩をしていたのと笑ってくれた。俺はおふくろがそう言って笑っているのを感じたんだよ。だから許すとまでは言えなかったけど、もう一度ゼロから始めてもいいかなって思ったんだよ。それで6年前に全てを巻き戻すことにした。それで後ろ宮家に席を戻したんだよ。俺も6年間泣き怒り悩み抜いた。ひょっとするとそれは親父もそうだったろうし、死んだおふくろもそうだったかもしれない。あるいはキリエさんやエンジェもそうだったかもしれない。
That Anjay, maybe, but you know, she didn't get the whole picture. Just sad. Oh, why can't Oni-chan live with us too? And you know, parents be in the tough situation, like, well, yeah, it's his decision right now. And Kirie probably doesn't like that. You know, probably feels like she split them apart.
だからゼロに戻し、後ろ宮バトラに戻ったんだ。それは俺たち家族の問題であって、後ろ宮家とかそんなのは何も関係ねえ。それを罪だと断じる資格はお前にないし、それをお前に懺悔する義務も俺にはない。もしそれを本当にすべき相手がいたとしたら、それはお前がもう全員殺した。だから俺は何も謝らない、懺悔しない。それが俺のこのテストへの答えだ。
Alright.
それだけか。
何
I pretty much fully responded to her provocation, and I was sure that I'd vented out all the stuff I'd been keeping inside my chest, stuff I hadn't even wanted to show anyone. That was what the witch had supposedly been hoping for, too. And yet, the witch's blank expression didn't change in the slightest. I'd been sure she'd start cackling and guffawing, sneering at my childish, foolish, and shameful past. But to the contrary, I could feel a sense of shock about her. Something you could almost call disappointment.
それだけも何も。俺は洗いざらいをぶちまけたぜ。
Well, in the end, it was all rather mundane.
何が不満なんだよ。
まだ罪の清算が足りぬ。
生産なんだよ。親父みたいにここに土下座して謝れってのかよ。
違う。お前たち家族のお前の家での話になど
Then
興
what are you
味は
talking
ない。
about?
ここはどこだ？
Rokenjima?
六軒島だ。後宮本家の本宅である。この場所にふさわしいそなたの思い出すべき罪があるのではないか。
他に俺に罪があるって
Yeah,
のか。
maybe something Beatrice related.
思い出せ。後宮バトル。そしてそれを思い出せぬことがそなたの罪だからこそ許そう。それを思い出せたなら許そう。それを思い出すことがそなたへの贖罪のテストである。
Okay.
思い出せって言われてもよ。
思い出せ。だからこそ罪なのだ。
悪いがベアト、俺には身に覚えがさっぱりだ。
Even if it turns out, oh, Beatrice, my long lost fucking childhood friend, whatever, like, a little overkill, don't you think?
なんだか6年前の俺が
That also seems too
お前に
mundane
迷惑を
for
か
that
けた
to
み
be
たい
it.
な雰囲気だが、俺はお前とは今回の親族会議が初対面のはず。確かにお前の伝説は6年前の当時にも存在していたが、俺との面識は当時にはなかったはずだ。
無論である。6年前の六軒島において、わらわはまだ権限していない。
But,
なら俺に何の罪があるってんだ。
you know, capital, all capital, you know, katakana, Beatrice, you know, witches have to be humans before they become
俺に
witches.
お前に対する罪が何かあるってのか。
同じことを二度言わせるな。わらわは6年前には権限しておらぬ。そなたと面識などあろうはずもない。そなたという世
Yeah,
界に
Beatrice wasn't around then.
存在しないも同じだ。
Beato's cold eyes felt as though they were accusing me of some kind of sin. It felt, on the face of it, as though she was still holding a grudge for some way I treated her and was criticizing me for it. However, I obviously couldn't remember doing anything like that to her, and Beato had said so herself. There was no link between us 6 years ago. 6 years ago, no person called Beatrice existed for me.
ヒントくらい出せよ。その罪とやらは俺とお前に関係がある。
わらわは6年前にはそなたと
Yet
縁
you're
が
not
ない。
getting it, Battler.
わらわのことはいい加減に考えから外せというのだ。なぜわらわへの罪だと思うのか。
お前の目さ。
目？ほう。
お前の目がさ、詫びろって
Yeah,
俺に
clearly.
囁いてくるんだよ。だが俺はお前なんか6年前に縁はねえし。
The
それは
vibe
お
you're
前も
giving
認
off
め
is
たは
that,
ずだ。
like, he snubbed you at some point.
本当なのか。本当に俺とお前の問題ではないのか。
You're not getting it, Battler. Beatrice didn't exist.
違うというのに。わらわとそなた
She's
の
a
問題
Beatrice now.
は全く関係ないわ。
だがよ、お前の目がそうだと言ってるんだよ。だから俺にはさっぱりわからねえ。赤で言えるが、お前が思い出すと言っている罪が俺とお前の間のものではないと
Probably.
宣言できるか。
よかろう。
The sin I am now demanding that you remember is not between Ushiromiya Battler and Beatrice.
ならなぜそんな目で俺を見る。
わからぬ。
Titles are cheap things,
わら
Battler.
わはそなたをこうして淡々と見つめているだけだ。それをそなたがそう感じるというのならば、それはそなたにそう感じる何かがあるのではないか。
Fucking way to turn that around on him.
俺に何の罪があるってんだ。
後宮バトラには罪がある。
I mean, what person doesn't?
どんな罪だってん
That's
だ。
not really much of a, you know, That's a bit of a waste of red.
当然叩いたとかごまかしたとかくだらねえ罪だろ。
そなたの罪だ。人が死ぬ。
I mean, if we include everyone that died here today, then yes.
嘘つけ。俺は誰も殺してなんかいない。じゃあ言えよ。
Accessory.
俺が誰を殺した？いつ？誰を？どうやって？
そなたの罪により、
Yeah.
この島の人間が大勢死ぬ。誰も逃さず、すべて死ぬ。
You got the ball rolling, so to say.
何をわけわかんねえこと言ってんだ。俺がみんなを殺したって言うのかよ。俺は殺人鬼か？
No.
そなたが直接手を下すわけではない。しかしそなたが罪を犯したからこそ6年にもわたる歯車の狂いにて歪みが生じ、今夜これだけの人命が失われるのだ。そなたはこの惨劇の原因の一つである。
Uh-huh. So,
いい加減にしろ。
my man don't remember.
俺が原因だ。じゃあなんだ。俺が6年前に後宮の席を捨てたから13人が死んだってのか。俺が6年ぶりに後宮家に帰ってきたから13人が死んだってのか。ふざけるな。いい加減にしろ。俺はこの6年間最も後宮家から遠ざかっていた男だぜ。その俺
Think maybe that
が
might be an issue?
何に何のどんな影響を与えたってんだ。俺だって好きで親族会議に来たわけじゃねえぞ。6年ぶりによりを戻したからこれまでの期間のけじめってことで渋々と六軒島まで来たんじゃねえか。別に俺は今日ここへ来る義理なんてなかったんだ。その俺が帰ってきてそれが理由で惨劇が起こった。じゃあなんだ。俺が帰ってこなけりゃ誰も死なずに済んだってのか。赤で言えよ。俺がもし帰ってこなかったらこのおかしな殺人事件は起こらなかったと赤で言えるのかよ。言えるわけねえさ。お前が全ての犯人なんだからな。苦笑要求。後宮バトラがもしも六軒島に戻ってこなかったら事件は起こらなかった。言えるものなら言ってみろ。言えねえだろ。言えやし
I
ない
wouldn't be
の
so
さ。
confident in that, bud.
犯人はお前なんだ。勝手にその責任を俺になすりつけるんじゃねえ。答えろよ。赤で苦笑してみろってんだ。できやしない。事件に俺の存在なんか関係ないのさ。わけのわかんねえことを言って
Anjay,
俺を混乱させるんじゃねえ。
gonna come in with the assist here? I began to remember that the raindrops pouring down were cold. The rain earlier had just hurt. Now I felt a tormenting cold from those raindrops. Well, yeah, you have been standing out for a bit.
何思い出すことはないの。
悪いが
Then die.
俺にはさっぱり心当たりがね
That's a
え。おい
that's a pout.
俺は少しイラつき始めてんだぜ。言いたいことがあるなら言えよ。
Yeah, quit being so
俺
roundabout.
に恨みがあるなら堂々と言えばいい。思い出せなんていやらしい言い方をするんじゃね
もう一度聞く。何も罪思
え。ああ、何にも思い出せねえな。
何も思い出せぬと
Mm-hmm.
いうか、これにて未練は尽きたか。望みなき賭けも賭けねば未練が残ろう。それでよいのだ。賭けることに意味がある。そうかもしれぬな。ならばこれにてわらわの未練もゲームも終わりだ。
Yep, whatever this grand fucking significant event in your existence that is, pivotal to everything was, I don't know, nothing to him.
そなたはどうする？さあな。わらわはもう何の興味もない。すまぬが わらわはこれにてゲーム版を降りさせてもらいたい。そうか、わかった。後のゲームはわらわが引き継ぐ。そなたは休め。後のことはすべてわらわが終わらせる。
I have thoughts.
そなたはすべてを忘れて枕に顔をうずめよ。羽の布団はそなたをすべてから優しく守ってくれるだろう。後片付けを頼む。
Nice fluffy feather futon.
任せよ。後のことはすべて任せ。眠れ。
Yeah, begone game piece, Beatrice. DM direct control is now in effect. The witch who had questioned Battler hid herself, and the other witch, who had appeared from behind, remained. She was currently identical, the same witch, but her expression somehow indifferent and ice cold. A far cry from the one before, who, though apparently drunk, had at least been in high spirits.
おい、聞いてるのか。テストとやらはもう十分だろ。合格だろうと不合格だろうとどうでもいいぜ。お前の横っ面をぶん殴ってやらなきゃ気が。降りてきやがれ。さもなきゃここの扉を開けやがれ。
I'm sure that big fluffy feather futon thing has nothing to do to connect with the, person who owns a futon store whatsoever. The witch said nothing back. Her eyes were ice cold as Battler's shoulders, and I'm sure if I go back and re-watch that scene, I won't find anything there whatsoever that might, jump out at me now. She was clearly a different person from the one who had first appeared on the balcony. The witch looked hard into my eyes, gave 2 small shakes of the head. Even without words, I was able to gather that she was expressing some kind of disappointment. Without saying anything, the witch turned on her heels. After that, only Battler remained, the cold rain still beating down on him. The study was in the middle of a lively party. It seemed that Gap was making fun of Virgilia, teasing her over some stupid triviality. Triviality? I don't know. They were spitting Leah, and Gap at each other. Kinzo and Runaway had opened a new bottle and were enjoying the show.
Oh, 戻ったか。
He's watching real intently.
どうであったか、バトラのテストの結果は。マリアのテストは文句なしに合格点であったぞ。あやつを小娘とわしは長いこと侮っていたが、これはどうしていやはやなかなか。
Yeah, you two got a lot in common. It seemed that Kinzo was dead drunk. He left towards Beato at the same level of excitement as the time they'd left for the test. However, Runaway and Virgilia immediately noticed the change in her enthusiasm. Gap also froze her expression and went silent.
どうしたベアトリーチェよ、我が最愛の魔女よ。酒が足りぬか、魚が足りぬか。
So what intense emotion we're getting?
土砂降りを浴びながら牛でも丸焼きにしようか。おお、悪くない。ロノウェ、早速準備をせよ。ベアトリーチェよ、バトラのテスト結果は後だ。まずはスペアリブで乾杯といこうではないか。
お前が丸焼きになるがよい。
何?
Burnt Kinzo corpse. As Kinzo doubled over laughing in a great mood, the witch who had spoken bluntly passed him by coldly. Then, behind the witch's back, the old summoner's body suddenly went up in flames. None of it matters anymore. While spitting crimson flames from his eyes, mouth, nose, every hole in his body, Kinzo rolled around. Even though it was a terrible hellfire, it didn't burn anything except Kinzo. Kinzo didn't have a clue what was going on. He rolled around, unable to understand why Beatrice, been in such a good mood, suddenly turned so cold. The dancing silhouettes of the witches and demons created by the massive rolling torch looked like a group of excited spectators around a burning at the stake. However, the eyes of the demons watching over it were indifferent. When Kinzo finally stopped moving, the fire disappeared, leaving a pitch-black corpse. The inside of the room was commanded by the stillness of the sound of the rain.
どうなさいましたか、お嬢様。
今日のサム、その邪魔な燃えかすを片付けよ。
Beatrice's expression was unbelievably apathetic. There was an iciness there that told the others that they'd risk the same fate as Kinzo if they annoyed her.
私が片付けるわ。
Gap made a jet black pitfall swallow up Kinzo's cinders. If she hadn't carried that out quickly, Gap might have also been burned. You could feel that thirst for blood. No, thirst for blood probably isn't the best way to describe it. Just a hair trigger at the moment. Just like humans don't have any particular emotion when they step on an ant when walking by. That was how much unconsciously and mercilessly Beato was now filled with a brutal emptiness that wouldn't hesitate to bury a passerby.
どうしたのです、ベアト。答えたくない。いや、答えるのももはやめんどくさい。
どうしたのよ、らしくもなく。
Yeah, you're really seething.
何かあったの？
Fucking mold.
バトラが何か言っ
Yeah, we're not talking about Battler right now. Beatrice hadn't even responded, so that she hadn't even ignored it. But there was a change in Gap. From her feet, a crackling and cracking sound rose, like thin ice breaking, and in an instant turned Gap into a glass sculpture.
しばらく消えろ。大変に不機嫌。
Beatrice spoke in a truly cold voice, which froze the heart just to hear it.
かしこまりました。それでは私どもはこれでおいとまさせていただき
Just
ま
gonna
す。
pick up Gap and carry her off somewhere, or are you just gonna, let her fall over and shatter?
何かございましたらいつでもお呼びを。
After a single bow, Renove turned into a cloud of gold butterflies and hid himself. Nope, looks like Gap just got a warning shot. Virgilia turned Gap from a sculpture into a group of gold butterflies, and then turned into a cloud of them herself, which mixed in with the others and disappeared. In the study made untidy by drinking, Beatrice stood still, alone. Since the time she had returned, her expression hadn't changed in the slightest. However, when she saw the fallen empty wine bottles and scattered cheese plates, her brow furrowed and she looked a bit displeased. And when she whispered disappear, in that instant, the room flashed and was tidy again, as though nothing had happened. The reception chairs were neatly arranged, and there were no wine or cheese. There were no stains where things had been spilled, nor were there any scattered trash. To the contrary, even the air had frozen over. And, enough to make one doubt whether so many noisy people really had been in this room until just moments ago, the study had returned to total silence. In that silent, frigid study where even the air had frozen, Beatrice stood still. Then, she called him in a mutter.
バトラ、いるか。
Yeah, what's up?
さっきからいるぜ。何なんだ一体お前は。さっきから変だぜ。
変に見えるか。それはすまぬな。
あれだけ上機嫌に酒を酌み交わしていたクソジジイをいきなり焼き捨て。
Well, yeah, he had to die too.
お前の友人の悪魔女も、ガラスの彫像。悪魔の執事もお師匠も、消えろの一言でさっさと出てけだ。お前、どんだけ気まぐれでわがままなんだか。
She's a little touchy at the moment.
バトラ、 もうやめた。
何を
What, you concede? Game's not fun anymore?
わらわはもう飽きた。
はあ
Truly realized I'm not getting anywhere. This is never gonna change.
そりゃまあお前が追っ始めたゲームだぜ飽きてくれて助かるってもんさ
Don't get your hopes up.
つまるところ投了ってわけだな
投了などではな
Yeah,
い。
just tagging out.
ただ終わるだけだ。いや、終わりもしない。このままゲームは
Oh.
永遠に放棄されるだけだ。
Just gonna fuck off to somewhere else.
そういうのを投了って言うんじゃ
No
ねえ
round
の
5,
か
huh?
よいや
No, that ends
飽
the
きて
game.
放り出すって言葉がお前にはぴったりだ
You
な
know, she's doing the best move is to not even play kind of thing. You know, the game doesn't reach an end, but it doesn't advance anymore.
その通りだ。飽きたから放り出す。あとは知らぬ。そのまま放置されて、好きに埃でもかぶればいい。
お前どうしたんだ
Yeah, come on, we still need to do our fucking blue text, red text lightning round at the end.
なんだかさっきからやりにくいぜまださっきのわけのわかんねえテストのことで尾を引いてるのかよ
Yes.
俺に恨みがあるならはっきり言えばいいじゃねえかお前は赤で自分とは関係ないなんて言ってみせたがどう
Yeah,
せ言葉遊びだろお前の顔に書いてあるぜ
must be pretty obvious if even Bat was
俺を
able
恨
to
んでる
suss that
っ
out.
てな
お前に恨みなどないと何度言えばわかるのか。わらわはそなたが罪を残したその当時に存在しておらぬ。
As Beato spoke with an irritated expression, her face twisted and looked even more displeased. To look even more displeased. Man, I fucked that up all 3 times, huh? Fickle, inconsistent, moody, temperamental, selfish and simple-minded and cruel. But even so, she had never shown an expression as strange as this even once before now.
まお前がふっかけてきたゲームだ
I'm so fucking hungry, guys. My brain is my stomach is eating my brain to sustain my body. My IQ points are dropping as the minutes go by. Soon I won't even be able to form sentences. Right now I'm still able to. They may be incoherent, but they are sentences.
俺も決着がつかねえのは残念だが気が向いたらぜひまた誘ってくれよなその時は
Yeah, I want you to cool down a
で
bit.
ご辞退させてもらうけどよ
What a good joke, Battler. He intentionally spoke in a teasing kind of tone, but Beato showed no reaction. Intentionally. Battler hung his head and clicked his tongue.
何度も何度も10月4日と5日をぐるぐる過ごしたわけだがようやくこれでお役ごめんだなこれだあさってには船が来るそうさそして船着き場には海猫も戻ってくる
He said the line!
俺はようやく
Title drop.
六軒島名物のあのニャーニャーいう鳴き声を聞けるわけだ
Dang old sea cats.
何しろ島に来た時は天気のせいか全然いなかったからな海猫の鳴く頃に全ては終わる
Doing it again.
ってわけだ
Yeah, I
終
remember.
わりおしまい
I
お
remember.
しまいせいせいすら
何をそなたは勘違いしておるのか。
ん何をだって
何も終わらぬとこれにて全ては放置され、ゲームは忘れられる。盤上の駒はそのままに放置される。進みも戻りも取りも取られもしない。
Yeah, the game's not over.
勝ちもな
Board set,
Make
just
mono.
no players.
引き分けすらもない。ただ放置されるのだ。
つまりはおしまいってことだろ、
違う。わらわの手番にて永遠にゲームが止まる。そなたの番は来ない。だから勝ちも負けも引き分けもない。かつてのわらわはそなたにそうされるわけにはいかなかった。
Hey, don't like it when the shoe's on the other foot now, huh?
そなたに勝つという目的があったからだ。しかしそれに興味を失った。
Yeah, not even the common courtesy to throw.
だからこれ以上
Just
手番を進める意味
went off to get lunch and
も
never
う
came
何
back.
もない。
俺に手番が来ないというのはどういう意味なんだ？
What it says on the tin there, bud. I thought that Beato getting tired of the game meant I'd be released and I'd be able to escape Roganjima. But for some reason, the meaning of Beato's repeated words about the difference between abandoning the game and settling it was starting to bother me. Just what has she been saying? And why the bad mood? Suddenly, I heard a voice from behind me. When I turned around, there was someone I thought I might or might not remember from somewhere. A mysterious girl with no light in her eyes was standing there. Brinkasol?
その子が言っているのはこういう意味よ。このゲームが駒をそのままに蓋を閉じられるということ。ゲームは終わらないまま永遠に留め置かれる。
あんたが元の世界へ戻ることのできる唯一の方法はベアトに勝利することだけ。
Yep, just in a state of limbo.
つまりベアトがゲームを放棄しちゃうってことはわかる？
Yeah, it ain't great. Suddenly, in another place, there was a girl wearing a bright pink dress. I had a feeling I'd met her somewhere too, but I couldn't remember. More importantly was the meaning of the words she said. The game being abandoned means... Huh?
そういうことよ。勝負は敵味方が揃わなきゃ決着しないわ。あなたにはもう永遠に勝利してこの世界から抜け出すことができないということよ。
Well, as long as Runawave's here, he can keep making
差し
cookies.
詰め、あなたを閉じ込めた檻の鍵をハトの首輪にでもくくりつけて飛ばしてしまうようなものかしら。冗談じゃないわ、ベアト。そんなつまらないゲームを見に私たちははるばるここまで来たわけじゃないのよ。これでゲームをお開きなんて冗談じゃないわ。
Yeah, you know, we still got fucking episode 5, 6, 7.
ラムダに同
Is
じ
it 8 too? I don't know, I can't remember off the top of my head.
私はバトラーを勝利させあなたを敗北させてのたうち回らせるためにやってきたのよ。まだその目的を達していない。こんなところでゲーム放棄されて逃げ出されたんじゃたまらないわ。
今日らを失望させるゲームの幕
After
切
all
れ
the
となった
ruckus
こ
you've
とは
caused the
認
fucking
めよう。
past couple rounds, you know, you just... Now that, you know, you don't want to play anymore, everyone else has to stop.
しかしこの茶会のホストたるわらわは何しろ気まぐれ。今日が冷めればもてなす術など知らぬ。もとよりそれがわらわの魔女たるゆえんのはず。何も問題はなかろう。
確かにあなたの競技には反しないわ。
私は認めないわよ。ふざけんじゃないわよ。あんたにどんだけ肩入れしたと思ってんのよ。
I don't think you're the right person for this.
ここまでお膳立てさせてこれではいおしまい。ふざけんじゃないわよ。
わらわは飽きたと。それ以上も以下もない。
そうはいかないわよ。あんたにはこのゲームを続けてもらうわ。
Fucking good luck getting
バ
her
トラ
to.
ーに勝利したいんでしょ。勝って屈服させたいんでしょ。もう一息じゃないね
え。そこで俺に振るんじゃねえ。ただ俺にも意見はある。言わせてくれ。こいつはお前に売られた喧嘩だ。俺はお前とはっきり白黒をつける覚悟がある。
Oh. Why is my house shaking? And I hear loud equipment on the street. God, they better not be back. I wanted to sleep in today. It's my day off. It's finally my weekend. I don't want them sawing and cutting and fucking cutting down trees again. No.
何度か屈服しかけたが。
I hope it was just like a garbage truck or something going by. For some reason on a day when it's not garbage day.
途中で逃げ出して勝負をうやむやにして逃げるつもりだけはさらさらねえ。俺がここにいて戦う意志を見せている以上逃げるんじゃねえ。ベアトリーチェ。
同感だわ。バトラーを巻き込んでおいて勝ちも負けも与えずに立ち去るなんて無責。
Suddenly, even Gretel was there, and everyone was criticizing Beato for being irresponsible.
ほう、 どうやらわらわが無責任だと罵られる最大の理由はバトラが対戦相手としてとどまっているからということらしい。ならばバトラ、お前もまた
No.
わらわと同様に対戦相手を降りてくれぬか。それでならわらわは批判されること
Well,
も
what's he gonna do? What? There's nothing here.
俺が降りると露見島を出られるのか？
出られるわけもなかろうが、勝手に埃を浴びて肩にでも積もらせよ。
Just turn off your brain and fucking collect a mold.
ふざけないで。なんて無責任な人なの。あんたはこれだけ大勢の人間を殺した。しかも魔女の力によって何度も何度も。むごたらしい殺し方でその責任を取らず逃げ出すなんて絶対に許せない。
責任。ほう。わらわはどのようにしてその責任とやらを取ればいいのか。
決着をつけるまで戦いなさい。バトラは正面の席に座り、あなたに打ち勝つまで決して諦めずに戦う。
Just, you know,
だからあなたも
let's put a nice little
任
bow
され
on
るま
all
で
this.
戦いなさい。それが嫌ならバトラーを任せてみせなさい。許さない。全てをうやむやにしてバトラーをこの席に放り出して永遠に閉じ込めて返さないなんて許さない。
グレーテル。
To be perfectly honest, I don't really understand from what standpoint Gretel was trying to save me. But in her words, I could feel a strong determination to save me from this crazy game world no matter what. So, I also responded to that.
ベアト、こっちを向け。俺はここにいる。お前の正面のライバルの席だ。わかるな。俺がここに座り続ける限り、お前に逃げは許さない。だから逃げるな。戦え。お前が始めた戦いだろうが。これだけ何度も何度も上等を決めやがって。しっちゃかめっちゃかにやってくれたんだ。
Wait, you're just gonna fucking
今
turn
さ
tail?
ら秋田で終わらせられるかよ。俺はお前の対戦相手だ。俺がここにある限り逃げるなんて許さねえぞ。聞いてるのか、この無責任魔女め。なんとか言ってみろってんだ。
She's sulking hard. After I yelled at her, Beato went silent for a while. Whether my words had really reached her, or whether she was thinking about something completely different, I couldn't tell. But for a while, she was silent, gazing at me with an expression I couldn't read. Gazing at me with an expression I could read no emotion from. And when she realized that I noticed, she averted her gaze. Then she turned her back to me and said this.
バトラが対戦相手をやめてくれぬ以上、このゲームを放棄することは認められぬと。
Yeah, you're pretty
今日ら
outnumbered
は
here.
おっしゃるわけか。ならば東王、そもそもそこにいる男にわらわの対戦相手たる資
What do you
格
mean?
があるのかどうか。
You brought him into this.
資格？
Why are you asking them?
当然。さっきのテストとやらのことだぜ。
何をする気？
あんたまさか。
これよりそなたにわらわの対戦相手たる資格があるかどうか。よいかバトラ。その資格が認められれば、わらわは席にとどまりゲームを続けよう。そして勝敗の決着がつくまで永遠に戦い続けることを
You're gonna
約
throw
束
some,
し
some
よう。
brain teasers our way?
俺にはもとよりその覚悟はあるぜ。
しかしその資格がなかったならそなたは消えよ。対戦相手が消えればゲームもない。わらわは堂々
Just
とここを
gone from
立ち去れる。
existence?
今日らもよろしいか。口出しは無用。
どうぞお好きなように。
バトラ、あんたしっかり答えるのよ。
資格があるからこそ。
Yep, temporary
俺は
alliance
こ
here.
こにいるんだろ。
No, the Lambda Delta Battler fucking cooperative.
何も怯えることなんざねえぜ。
Strange times make for strange bedfellows.
まさか。
Gretel grew suddenly pale. I thought her to be the calm, collected type, so her expression surprised me.
それではバトル赤で復唱してもらおう。
お、 俺に副将要求ってか。俺のお箱を奪いやがって。
Hey, you're getting a little sweaty hands here.
赤き真実って俺でもできるのか？
Temporarily.
どうやるんだ？
そうだと念じればできるわよ。簡単よ。
俺の名は後宮バトラ。おお、こりゃ面白いや。
It's like when you're playing RuneScape and you set the colors and like wavy rainbow stuff to your text.
あんたの狙いは読めてるわ。でもそれはやめて。彼は
When Gretel yelled, Beato glared at her. Then, her form was wiped away in an instant.
うるさい。そなたはしばらく席を外せ。今日らもであるぞ。口出しをするならば容赦せん。
邪魔はしないの。どうぞご自由に。
Yeah, they didn't really have much skin in this game to begin with.
あいつ消す気よ、バトラを。
なんだと？あいつ何を企んでやが
What,
る。
get you to like contradict your own existence?
それでは資格を問うぞ。面白いな。普段のゲームが攻守が逆になった。これは最後の最後でとても貴重な体験だ。よいか。心してまずは聞け。まずはわらわが赤に語る。わらわは
I better not have to choose
黄金の魔女
anything.
ベア。そして後宮金蔵の孫後宮バトラと戦うためにこのゲームを開催した。
Alright, that tracks.
そんなことは知ってるぜ。だからなんだ？
副将要求。後宮バトラの母は後宮アスムである。
Yeah, to the best of our knowledge.
はあ？そこでなんでお袋の名が出てくるんだよ。
無駄口はいらぬ。ただ赤で副将せ。
Beato urged me with the same and different tone. But I don't have a clue what she's trying to do. I've done absolutely nothing wrong that I'd hate to be confronted with, and there's nothing that I'm hiding. There's nothing she could demand me for to repeat that would cause me any trouble. So, why something like this?
いいぜ。復唱する。後宮バトラの母は後宮アスムである。赤は便利だな。戸籍標本を持ってくる面倒もね
え。無駄口はいらぬ。続けるぞ。そなたの名は後宮バトラである。
What are we doing? Some kind of like fucking word math problem here?
俺の名は後宮バトラだ。
後宮バトラは後宮アスムから生まれた。
後宮バトラは後宮アスムから生まれた。
そなたは後宮アスムから生まれた。
俺は後宮
What? Was Battler a fucking C-section baby? Or, you know, fucking like egg swap? Like, what are we doing here? All of a sudden, my throat closed. I was suddenly assaulted by a shortness of breath that felt as if I'd been choked. What's going on? One more time.
俺は後宮アスムから生まれた。くそ。俺は後宮アスムから生まれた。なんだ。さっきまでは簡単にできてたのに急に赤がうまくできなくなったぞ。
副将を拒否する。
拒否なんかじゃねえ。なぜかうまくいかねえんだ。俺は後宮アスムから生まれたって。なんでだ。畜生、なんで赤が使えないんだ。そんなバカな。
My mom is Ushurmiya Asuma. Why can't I say that fact in red? What's going on? This is...
語れぬ赤を無理に語ろうとすると窒息するぞ。無理をしなくてよい。以上の事実。わらわはそなたを青で追求させてもらう。覚えているな。青は
Yeah.
相手を否定する仮説を宣言するのに用いる。それは赤での否定が義務付けられる。それがない場合勝利となる。では参るぞ。
Now we're questioning with information he doesn't know.
以上の副将要求並びに副将拒否からわらわは そなたに対戦相手の資格がないことを宣言する。なぜならベアトリー
What, that he's not actually fucking Ushiromiya Battler?
後宮金蔵の孫である後宮バトラと戦うためにゲームを開催したから。よって対戦相手であるそなたには後宮金蔵の孫である後宮バトラであることを赤で宣言する義務が生じる。それに対する復唱をそなたは拒否した。
Unless
これは資格の喪失を意味するも
I'm
ので
thinking
あ
like
る。
weird fucking Game of Thrones shit. Like my dad's really my brother kind of thing. Like, ooh.
ああ、俺は後宮バトラだ。
Yes.
それを赤で復唱できている以上、俺はお前の対戦相手のはずだぜ。
そなたが後宮バトラの名を持つことは事実である。しかし人命は独占されたものではない。
Yeah.
複数の人間が後宮バトラを名に持つことは可能である。すなわちこういうことだ。そなたは後宮アスムの息子後宮バトラと同す。
Okay.
なんだとバカなこと言うんじゃねえ。俺はお袋の子だぞ。後宮アスムの子だ。俺は後宮アスムから畜生、なぜだ、なぜ
You're getting a little wild here at the end,
お
huh?
袋から生まれたと言えないんだ。こんなバカなことがあるというのか。
苦しむことはない。わらわは遊ばぬ。これにてチェックメイトだ。そなたは後宮アスムの息子ではない。
Oh. What?
そんなバカ。
My man Battler. You're adopted.
そなたは誰だ。後宮バトラを名乗る。
Either that or
何者な
not Kinzo. Fucking Rolf had a third affair.
ちょっと待てよ。俺は後宮バトラだ。
Yeah, but now you don't know. You're unsure, so you
俺は
can't say it in
後
red.
宮アスムから生まれた親父とお袋の息子だ。
いいや、わらわの対戦相手たる後宮バトラであるはずがない。その証拠に。
証拠だと。
そなたは6年前の罪を知らない。
You're losing me, Beatrice.
それはい
いや、真の後宮バトラならば罪など犯さない。だが結果的に罪は起こり、6年の月日が空白となって、当時を何も知らぬ男が後宮バトラを名乗って六軒島へ姿を現した。その真相はこうだ。
6 years ago, the true Ushiromiya Battler, qualified to be my opponent, was already dead. You were involved in a plot by Rudolph having something to do with the distribution of the inheritance. A body double set up in Ushiromiya Battler's place.
そんなバカなことがあるもんか。
Yeah, but we're not playing with a full deck here, so
そんなバカな。
バトラ、しっかりしなさい。
まあ言い返せないなら仕方がないわ。バトラにその資格はなかった。そういうことよ。
ベル、それでいいの？それを認めちゃったらあんたも負けちゃうのよ。
あんたは勝っちゃうんでしょうが、なんでバトラの肩を持ってるの？残念よ、バトラ。あなたにベアトリーチェの対戦相手たる資格がなかったなんて、とても残
yeah, I'm gonna turn this around, bud.
私も迂闊だったわ。資格のない駒に張ってたなんてね。私の乾杯だわ、ベアトリーチェ。
負けも勝ちもない。ただ
Yep.
対戦相手が消えるだけで
Everything will be null.
元からいなかったと言うべき。
じゃあよ、俺は
Gonna be honest, didn't see this one coming.
誰なんだよ。俺は 親父やおふくろの子
Oh,
じゃ
it seems not.
俺は誰なんだ。何なんだ。おふくろの子じゃないってんならなんだよ。
Well, they just found you in like a fucking
縁も
Kmart
ゆかり
parking
もない
lot.
赤の他人の子だとかそう言い出すのかよ。
それならば金蔵の血は引いていないことになるな。いずれにせよそなたにこのゲームの対戦資格はない。
バカなバカな。
もうよい。
He's the one who's saying red. I am blood related to Ushiromiya Kinzo.
もとも
Boom.
とそなたが後宮バトラで
And
な
then
い
we can
可
work from
能
there.
性
We can suss it out.
多少は承知していたのだ。だから問
Narrow
わねば
down
な
the
らなかっ
leads.
た。本当のバトラなら知っていることを聞かねばならなかった。残念だ。そなたがひょっとしたら本当に後宮バトラであるかもしれないとわらわも1000兆分の1の奇跡にかけたのだが、やはりそなたは同姓同名の
Oh, just
別
mistaken identity.
人だ。
You're blacking out, bud. Bit by bit, Battler's form began to be clouded in darkness. Oh, maybe it was the other way around. The whole world was becoming clouded in darkness, leaving only Battler behind. Battler was down on all fours, hanging his head and repeatedly questioning himself. However, he would never be given an answer. When the world stained with darkness, Bieto spoke something, and Lambda Delta ran up to Battler, yelling something very quickly. But it already seemed very far away and it didn't reach his ears. Then he, not knowing who he was, erased himself. He'll bounce back. He's made of tougher stuff than that. And then, letting being rejected by reality and existence, keep him down.
それではこれで今日らも旅支度を整えられるがよい。
What was that? Someone just mowing their lawn? I don't think anyone's mowing their lawn. It's February. They might be getting ready to start with the wood again. If I hear like grrr and my entire house starts shaking, I'm stopping.
我が領地にてもう何も催しは予定されていない。それではごきげんよう。さらばだ。
Not saying anything more, Bieto clouded her own form in darkness as well and disappeared.
あんたこれでいいわけ？バトラ消えちゃったわよ。
I don't know, man. I think Burn Cassell's just rolling with the
負け
punches.
ず嫌いのあんたが
Like, well,
この結末でいい
that
わ
one
け？
sucked.
あんたは私の負けに張ってたんでしょ。
Yeah, but she's a little sun.
なら万々歳じゃない。おめでとう、ラムダ。じゃあまたどこかの世界で会いましょう。まあ無限のかけら世界のこと。どこかでまたご縁がある確率はそれこそ1000兆分の1よりも少ないでしょうけれど。
Oh, I'm sure.
じゃあね。楽しかったわ。バイバイ。
Maybe we'll meet again in that place. Silent Hill. Getting ready for all the weird fucking little Easter eggs and shit that's gonna pop up in that one. Chasing after Burn Castell, who disappeared first, Lambda Delta disappeared as well. Then, after everyone had disappeared, there was only one left in the study. It returned to silence, almost as though no one had been there from the beginning. No one was there in the first place. The silent study told of that wordlessly, and the sound of the wind and rain began to fill the room bit by bit. And with that, that is where we're going to end it here for today. I don't know how long this is going to keep going on, and I feel like, I don't know if we're approaching like penultimate climax for chapter 4, or if like it's the actual like climax. Okay, you can't hear that noise suppression's on. You might be able to hear it when I talk, but someone definitely started working outside. So yeah, good time on me to, just end it here. But anyway, feels like we're in the last stretch. I don't know, man. Find out next time. Come back for the next episode of Umineko. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, yada yada, all that. Catch you guys later. Bye. Mwah.